he does it so well. He helps all of us along the way. So let's give him a hand. We appreciate it.
Good to be here with you. The first thing I want to say to you is my handouts for you are in my office at Reinhardt. So we had great planning, preparation, everything's falling in place, but just like in every rehearsal, great plans for rehearsals sometimes don't work out when most of your band has the flu. So my handouts are there, so if they're, it looked like when I wrote it looked like it was level. If you have an interest in getting the handout of the information, shoot me that and I'll blast it right back to you. mdg@reinhardt.edu. Okay, we're here today to talk about little things, not big things. Big things are what? New band. Hey, can I just talk? How many orchestra people are here? 4 people? 10. Band. Okay, these two choral are going to be band, right? So the terminology, can I just use band today rather than having to try to be politically correct? Okay, every time we have a band course or orchestra general music, I'll just use band today. And whatever band means to you. If it means general music, means elementary music, or whatever, let's use the substitute. Okay? Big things in bands might be a new band room. Or an additional $100,000 in budget. I know most of you got $300,000 or $400,000 budgets, but an additional $100,000. So we're not talking about big things. We all know the big things. We can't deal with the big things. How many of you got a big budget increase for this year? Me too. We all got those big budget increases. Anybody move into a new facility this year? Some of you might have. Okay, great. Nice. It's exciting, isn't it? Was it fully equipped when you moved in with everything you needed? Chairs, stands, instruments, everything? Close. Not instruments. Okay. You got a great new building, all equipped with no instruments. Isn't that great? We can all meet in our band room and do nothing. So, the big things we don't need to talk about, right? One of the things I like to do with my students and all students, and you are my students for the next hour or 50 minutes, one of the things I like to give to you is information, things that work. Things that as I like to say, you can put in your pocket for the conference, take home, and put into place quickly. Those are some things I want us to think about today. And in lieu of my handout of my electronic copy, I'm going to do a hand copy. I'm just going to put up some ideas. I'm not going to put out everything on the handout. But I want to talk about 10 little things. Just little things. And they seem rather innocuous and harmless and kind of like the clinic that Dr. Friskello and Mr. Wilder and I did. I thought everybody knew that. What we do, we just don't, sometimes we need to be reminded of that. And that's kind of what this is today. So let's just get started. And the first thing I think we need to do, first little thing that makes a big difference, and you heard Dr. Friskello talk about this, just have a plan. Just have a plan. How hard can that be? Because without some kind of plan, time is wasted, productivity is cut. And let me just say this. I've got my administrator hat on. By the way, I did my stint in administration. I did 12 years in administration. The last 5 or more was pure administration, which means the first 6 or 7 or 8, I did administration and assistant to the superintendent and music supervisor. So I still had a foot over that toe. But the last 5 years or so, I was pure administration. I sat at the right hand of the superintendent, assistant to the superintendent. I did nothing music. All I did was substitute for the superintendent from Robert's game. So I spent time in that administration thing. So I've got an administration hat on now. But listen to this. As an administrator, I say to you, lesson plans as we know them are not always necessary. But it is necessary that we have a plan. You heard Dr. Friskello say, yes, if you were to conduct a workshop yesterday morning, he says, I sit down with my scores and I decide what I want to do. He was speaking of things like fermata, guitars, simple things. And I have a plan of what I want to do. So when I go in, I know what I'm going to do. So just before rehearsal, if I get a telephone call, or as he said, somebody comes in with a broken bass clarinet, my day's not cratered. I still have a plan. So a plan we must have. If you don't have a plan, you waste time. Don't attempt to have rehearsals with middle school and high schoolers, certainly, without some kind of device to mark parts. Don't do that. You're wasting your time. Okay, everybody from letter A, count forward 67 measures. Is that counting the first one, or is letter A the first one, or is the measure after A the first one? So you just waste your time. Have some pencils in rehearsals. You rehearse with pencils, instruments, music, and brain. All four. And any one of those missing causes a problem, right? It's just a little thing. Have a pencil and make the kids have a pencil. And use some sort of measuring system for your rehearsal pieces. When I say some sort, that doesn't mean you have to know every measure. What a tedious task that is. Sometimes now, with more contemporary manuscripts, as you know, the measures are already numbered, right? The bottom of the top, which is great. And that requires so little in finale and sonatas. But have some sort of measuring number system. It's just a little thing. Then you don't spend time going, everybody count with me, back from, and count out loud, put your finger in the measure when it's good. Classroom management must be utilized consistently. You can't have one day, you can't have a system for having students unpack their instruments and then the next day change your mind and we're going to move all the instruments to this side, music over here, and I want only these people to pick up the music out of these folders. Classroom management must be used consistently. Otherwise, we're wasting our time. And I'll talk about rehearsal time shortly. Start and end your rehearsals on time, non-negotiable. Excuse me. Comma. With one notable exception. If your boss says, I need to talk to you right now, rehearsal can be started a little later. But, as I have said over the years in a very polite and respectful, my wife says sometimes I'm not as respectful, doesn't sound as respectful as I might want to. But if my boss said to me, I need to talk to you right now, and go, I have all these students, do you want me to, you would just leave them or call me as soon as you get out of rehearsal. Start your rehearsal on time. One of the first things I did when I came to Reinhardt was make certain we understood we needed to start. It's a business. Rehearsals are businesses. Our rehearsal, we only have 2 a week for an hour and 15 minutes each time. We started at 4, 2 minutes after 4, we're 2 minutes into our rehearsals. Sometimes I need to talk to them about specific things, but that's part of our rehearsal. Start your rehearsals on time. Don't wander in 10 minutes after the appointed time. Don't let your students know that the start of rehearsal is very important to you. Because when you start your rehearsal, the clock is running. And if we're training people to be business people, if we're training them to be teachers that have some sort of schedules to follow, we need to be professional. And the last part of this having a plan is, I think it is our responsibility to make certain our students understand the importance of rehearsal. Subtopic, there is never enough rehearsal time. You know, does anybody here not believe that? I don't want to embarrass you. Anybody? You know, I don't know. And I promise you, I have been in rehearsal settings where I've seen directors go, you know, we still got 12, 13 minutes. He said, it'll be enough for today. I thought, 12 minutes? 12 minutes? You can rehearse a 20-minute piece in 12 minutes. You do it right. Oh wait, we've rehearsed enough today, let's just knock off a little early. There's never enough rehearsal time. And so, and the ladies and gentlemen at my school, some days I might keep them a little late because of something unusual. 3 minutes, I go, I've kept it 3 minutes late, I'll pay it back to you next rehearsal. I do that, I try to do that. I want them to be in the frame of mind that it is part of the structure, part of the plan, that rehearsal, in order to be effective in the affective, E and A, in order to be effective in the affective, you must be effective as a business person. You can't run a sloppy and shoddy business and be successful as a business person, right? We must treat our rehearsals as businesses times 10. To be effective in the affective, making music creative art forms, we must have those weapons. Item number 2, don't attempt to rehearse empty chairs. How big is that? Not a big deal. If you can't read this, ask some of my students, they can translate for you. Don't attempt to rehearse empty chairs. We come in and you've got, maybe there's something else that's going on with chairs here. Perform a chair activity. Move those chairs out. Just slide that one. Don't rehearse empty chairs. It's a little thing. But let me tell you what, visually, empty chairs distract. They detract from what's going on. Orally, empty chairs affect your ensemble sound. Of course we know that, right? It's not a big thing like you band, That's a little thing. But orally, that affects our sound. When we got a bunch of empty chairs versus people sitting playing into the backs of them. Aesthetically, empty chairs can discourage other players. Gosh, what's wrong with our band? There's too many people absent. No, we don't have 2 people absent. There was just a big class and prior to us, and we've got 17 empty chairs now. It's just a little thing. I promise you'll make a big difference. Don't let those little things creep into the effectiveness, the damage effectiveness. But again, I used the analogy yesterday that band directors and preachers are similar in the way that we stand in front of groups. We stand in front of a group of people making speeches. That's what we do for a living. We either making speeches trying to get them to quit doing something they're doing, or start doing something they're not doing. Just like the preacher. Don't do this anymore. When we stand in front of our bands, you have to stop that sin, play it tune. We're trying to get them to do or to not do things. But what happens is, many times, I'm the first one that's guilty, and you can be a member of this club. How many of us have stood up in front of our rehearsals and just preached to our ensemble about the people that are absent? It makes it feel good, doesn't it? At least we've done something. We've castigated all those people. We've got to come down on them. All those people that are absent, we've blasted them. And I get the kids just sitting there going, I'm here. Got my pencil, got my music, got my horn, got my brains. I'm ready to go. Why are you hitting up on us about these chairs? Stay. Make sense? Of course it does. Remove chaos. Number 3, remove chaos from your rehearsal. Our rehearsals don't have chaos. They're a little noisy, a little disorganized, but no chaos. Right? Remove, if I misspell words, don't worry about it. Because you know you got that little thing that's running around on Facebook, the paragraph that's got some of the letters mixed up in the words, but you can tell what they are. You read the paragraph and every word in the paragraph is misspelled because of something. The whole idea is that you can figure out the word. So, you can figure out the word today. Remove chaos from your rehearsal. Students should know the order and expectations of your rehearsals. They need to know when to play, how to prepare for rehearsal, etc., etc., etc. How do they warm up? You have your students warm up on their own when they come in? It doesn't matter, just as long as they know what they're supposed to do. If you have them warm up, I promise you Craig Buckle has, his students know how he wants them to warm up. How complex is it? Just tell them what you want them to do. If you do not want them playing prior to your entering the room or starting, you don't have to play. If you want them, make sure they're warming up the way you want them to, rather than, as we refer to at our school, cafeteria trumpet. Think of what if you handed the trumpet to someone in the cafeteria, 2 things they're going to try to play what? High and loud. Right? We know that. Our kids come in first thing in the morning, 8:15 in the morning, they go. We don't need that. Let them know how you want them to warm up. It's just a little thing. It's going to make a big difference in your rehearsal. Remove non-musical things from your rehearsal if at all possible. I was in a rehearsal hall a couple of years ago. I'll never tell where, I might, but I don't plan to tell where it was. And in the rehearsal room, which was about this size, give or take, in the back there were two cup machines and a little candy vending machine. Not in the hallway, back in the rehearsal room. I can make you an argument for that. Not a very good one, but I can make you an argument. This part I cannot make an argument for. And it was block schedule, 4x4 block schedule, which is an enormous waste of time. Because no one can rehearse a band for an hour and 45 minutes every day and make any sense out of it. Least of all the directors, certainly not the kids, but certainly not the kids. But anyway, we were on a 4x4 block. So we're into an hour or so into the director's droning on, giving non-instructions repeatedly. And a couple of kids get up, just walk around. And I thought, that sounded like the kid just got a coke out of the coffee machine. And I thought, couldn't be. That shouldn't be happening. Now I know who's drinking. I believe it is. And I believe he's about to drink it. Well,